All right. Yo, yo, yo. This is Carl Everts. I am live. Okay, there we go. Yo, yo, yo. This is Carl Everts. I am live on YouTube. Today we're going to talk about our first economic live, um, which is a shock because normally I don't talk about stuff like economics. I have it categorized as education for this one. There is going to be a little bit of politics. Um, and with this, because obviously economics do involve politics to a certain degree, I'm going to make sure that my screen is ready to go. Um, and from there, we will take it from here. All right. So the mic seems to be working. And yeah, let's get right into it. So I want to share my screen. Oh crap. Ooh, oh, okay. This might not be the particular for overall, but rather like, hold on, let me. Crap, hold on. I'm sharing myself for a minute. Why am I doing that? Why am I doing that? Dion, what the hell? My internet connection is a little bit unstable. Oh shit. Oh, hey. Look at this. Look at this. My first live. Look at this. My first live comes up. Alright. I thought maybe it was gonna need to be 2 hours. Blockbuster year. Oh wait, what the hell? You know what? Let's go here. The computer's being an idiot today. Hold on. My computer's being a literal idiot. Um, ooh. So I'm gonna try a sriracha chip. These are really good. Okay. My computer is very. Just want to throw that out there. Um. Yeah. Here we go.
Hello and welcome to the Engaging Economics webinar series. Master of Science in Applied Economics program and the Johns Hopkins University of Advanced Academic Programs. Today's event features a discussion on the U.S. economy in 2026, resilience or recession. Please note today's event will be recorded and uploaded to the AAP YouTube channel.
Now, note, before we continue any further with this shit, I want to say thank you for the 2 new subscriptions to my YouTube channel. Keep those subscriptions coming. I could bring even better and greater content in the future. Most likely starting next year in 2027, you'll see better content than this year. That's okay, because this is my first full year making videos. I know I kept the train rolling in September and October when the first lives I had came out. But when I started getting a lot of tests and a lot of medical issues, sadly, I had to cut back on those lives for a little. And then I think for a little bit, and I think I mentioned that in some of my YouTube shorts, by the way. Golden Sriracha. I can already tell this is going to be a while, so let's continue. But again, before I really continue, copyright law will be, this video will be protected by federal copyright law. If you want to use my video for a reaction or anything, well, let's just say you need to ask me. Like, this video that I'm showing is public, but the video that's on my channel is not. Most likely I would tell you no, or that you would have to pay my YouTube channel. But I don't want to take money out of anyone else's pocket. So, to be honest, do not copyright my video. And I am not responsible for anyone who is a dumbass to copyright my video after I explicitly tell you not to. So, I want to throw that out there. Don't be a fucking dumbass and copy my videos without my explicit permission. Alright, with all that e-bagging out the way, this is going to be a great video. This is going to be at least 2 hours live, so grab your snacks, grab your popcorn, whatever day you're watching this, grab whatever, grab a couple drinks. Though I only have one, and that's a Fruit Punch Gatorade. Yo, this bottle is freaking small as fuck, but I got freaking 18 or 17 other bottles of Gatorade. Grab something, grab a Monster Energy for all I care. Like, grab whatever you want, but you don't want to go starving. Make sure you bring, if you take medications, bring them up with you. Close the door. Don't let mommy or daddy yell at you for watching something that's educational. I am not no economics expert, but I have done a lot of research on this shit, so let's just say I can crush this shit easily.
Under the Engaging Economics playlist. During the program, if you have any questions, please feel free to use the Q&A function.
And this is the first time I ever had to use closed captions on this, because this lady sounds like she was not born in the U.S., maybe another country, which I had no
we will
problem with
answer as
that.
many questions as
I don't have any problem with that. It's just that, as obvious, so I had to put on closed captions. Now, note my live or stream or anything that has closed captions on it is going to be always in English. Ooh, excuse me. But there are specific settings where you can auto translate that to your language, which I think is pretty cool. Because there's a lot of Spanish speaking, stuff I listen to, and I have no problem with that. Problem is, I don't understand Spanish that well, so I was able to discover the setting and auto translate it to English, obviously. A little fun fact about me. I am a little bit German and Italian, though I might not look like it. I actually am. And then on my dad's side in particular, on my mom's side, I'm Scottish and Irish. Again, I might look a little more Irish, but I don't think I sound like it. But yeah. Before I even continue chat, how's your holiday weekend going so far? Good, horrible, piece of shit? Like, just be honest. There might not be any viewers in the live, but that's okay as well. Okay, the volume is up. All right. Huh. There's no closed captions available for my live? Wait, that's weird. That is weird. Okay. Let's get back to this.
As possible during the latter portion of the event. With that, I would turn over the presentation to our moderator, Dr. Prakash Langani, Program Director for the Master of Science in Applied Economics Program.
Thanks, Natalie. Welcome, everyone. I'm Prakash Langani. I'm the Program Director for the Master of Science in Applied Economics program here at Johns Hopkins. And this is by way of informing our students. I'm proud to say that Forbes 4 months ago ranked our program as the #1 online master's program in the country. So you've made a very wise decision, and I hope you will feel that as you go through the program. Some of you are in my macro or economic growth class, and of course you can complain to me about those courses. But as program director, I'm also the person you complain to about anything else that is going wrong. But I hope things are going right and that you can simply tell me that things are going okay. All right. So today's topic, as Natalie said, is the US economy in 2026.
Great.
Resilience or recession. We have 4
We'll
panelists. Torsten, Doc, Jason Furman. Torsten, I may have mispronounced your last name. Despite all these years at the IMF, I never learned to say your name right, I'm sorry. Peter Coy and Betsy Stevenson. So I'm going to start out by asking each of the panelists the same question. In 2025, the US economy ended up doing quite well, actually. 2% income growth and 2.5% inflation. A pretty good year, you would say. So my question to you.
Now, can that question be the same for 2026 with this ongoing war in Iran?
Panelist is, what do you expect for this year? And I'm going to give you 3 choices. I know I'm holding up 4 fingers, but I'm giving you 3 choices. 1, resilience, by which I mean that the economy will do roughly the same as it did last year, about 2% income growth and 2.5% inflation. The second choice is stagflation. Stagflation would mean that income growth goes down a little bit and inflation goes up a little bit compared to last year. And the third choice is recession. which is that GDP will actually decline, say because of the bursting of an AI bubble. Okay. And
Oh shit! He held up 4, so he said he's only given 3. Wow, GDP will go down because of an AI bubble. Whoa. Now that there's more options on the table, there's a lot more causes for an economic collapse if that were to fall through.
taxation could happen for a variety of reasons, particularly the impact of the tariffs finally taking hold. Okay. Now, why am I holding up 4 fingers? Because I suspect that even though I've given you 3 choices, all of you will choose a 4th choice, which is to combine my 3 scenarios or construct a scenario of your own, which is fine. So let's start with you, Torsten. What do you expect? Resilience, stagflation, or recession?
So the answer to that, and thanks so much for organizing and for having me, Prakash, is that I think that the US economy will continue to be resilient. So if I just share my screen and show 2 slides. When we think about last year, there was a lot of headwinds coming from the trade war, not only from tariffs on their own, but also from trade war uncertainty. There were also headwinds because of immigration restrictions holding down employment. But as we look into 2026, we begin to see a growing list of tailwinds rather than headwinds. Number one, yes, I do understand that there's still a lot of uncertainty about trade war, but let's just agree that the trade war uncertainty situation is at least better than what it was in April of last year. Number 2.
I don't know about much of the trade war that happened in April of 2025. But I will say, though, Trump was a freaking straight up dick about slapping 200% tariffs on everything. But, I mean, if I was president, I would freaking do the same, unfortunately. But instead, slap 500% tariffs on China. Like, I would slap 500% tariffs on China. When the time is right, of course. I wouldn't do it at the wrong time. But yeah. The trade war, though, didn't just impact the U.S. and China. It also impacted our allies because Trump slapped tariffs on the whole freaking world, basically. Now, I don't understand if you're trading with our adversaries. But hold on. I'm going to take a few chips out of my bag here. But, if there are allies actually contributing to the U.S., not trading with our adversaries, why slap a tariff on them? Why slap an actual ally who's actually supporting the U.S.? Now, I'm not saying that that's the case, but in some cases that will happen, and I get that. But don't do that. Like most NATO members, particularly, well, I shouldn't say NATO, but neutrals like India, who does business with the U.S., but also does business with our adversaries. Now, the question of resilience is still questionable with this ongoing war in Iran. Oil has skyrocketed to what? Last time I checked, it was like $100 a barrel on average. Now, obviously, the U.S. is not completely resilient, but the U.S. still has an advantage here. And why do I say that? Because the U.S. only 7% of the U.S.'s like imported oil comes from the Strait of Hormuz. So it's really not going to affect us oil wise. Yes, obviously it's going to raise the prices dramatically, but it's not going to impact us completely. Now, that's the advantage. The disadvantage is the cost of everything else. Food, like earth rare minerals to build our supersonic, like hypersonic weapons and lasers and shit. Not only that, tariffs. You know, tariffs are going to come into play. And now Trump just raised the deal to $40 billion to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. Now, China is intervening. Japan is crippled right now. They have zero oil reserves left. Same with South Korea. But surprisingly, Japan has stood openly against this war. Oh, excuse me. Burping killed. Excuse me. Anyways, how do I put this? This war is pretty costly. However, the U.S. turned that around. And so
Kyle, today.
the let's share this tab real quick. So March 5th. All right. So let's take a look. Let's take a look. Lasers. Oh shit, hold on, sorry. Lasers, satellites, and cyber tools inside Operation Epic Fury, America's high-tech war on Iran. Oh, guess how much a laser shot costs? All you need to do is buy one. Buy one. Buy one laser ammunition per ship. $2 versus a $50,000 Iranian drone. The West has a clear economical edge on this. So I accept. All right. So look at this. Look at this. The U.S. has an economical edge. Now we have $880, and as long as the ship unlimited ammunition, right? I think it was the USS Abraham Lincoln aircraft carrier strike group shot down. Alrighty, guys, I am back. I didn't go nowhere. So let's get back to sharing my screen again. So let me refresh. There we go. So, like I said, 440 ships, $2 per shot. All you need is one. As long as the ship is powered up, you have unlimited ammo. Now, think about that for a split second. Unlimited ammo. Unlimited ammo. Let me make sure that I almost lost connection to the stream. Okay, I'm back. Anyways, so as you can see, laser weapons are deployed. We have an economical advantage with this. And yeah. However, the problem with this, the concern, that's the second time. Welcome back.